Welcome in. No matter where you are or how you're watching this right now, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. There are thousands of channels covering the Eagles out there, but you chose to spend your time with me. And man, I'm truly grateful for that. Today we're diving deep into something that's going to absolutely blow your mind. We're talking about a man who has transformed the art of building football teams into something almost supernatural. A true chess master of the NFL. We're talking about Howie Roseman, the general manager of the Philadelphia Eagles. And no, he's not just good. He's legendary. Before we get started, I need your participation here. If you believe Howie Roseman is the best GM in the entire NFL, smash that like button right now. I want to see this video explode. But if you disagree, that's totally fine. Drop a comment explaining why. I read every single comment and I love debating with you guys. Let me tell you something incredible. Over the past few years, I've had the privilege of being at the NFL Combines in Indianapolis. I've been at the last few Super Bowls too. And you know what I noticed? Every single time Howie Roseman shows up for a press conference, something magical happens. A massive crowd forms around him. But wait, I'm not talking about excited fans here. I'm talking about professional journalists, experienced analysts, people who've been covering the NFL for decades. Everyone wants to hear what this guy has to say. Why? Because when Howie speaks, it's like a Harvard professor giving a masterclass on how to dominate football. Sure, the Eagles are the fourth largest media market in the United States. Philly is a city that breathes football 365 days a year. The passion in this city is absolutely insane. But that doesn't explain why professional media members pack his interviews. They want to be around a genius operating at the highest level. You know what makes Howie even more fascinating? He's incredibly accessible and human. When you talk to him, you don't find that typical executive arrogance. Zero inflated ego. The guy is genuinely nice, generous with his time, has a great sense of humor, and answers questions in deep, detailed ways. He doesn't give empty corporate responses. He actually shares his strategic thinking. And here's the part that makes everyone connect with him. Howie Roseman is one of U.S. He wasn't an NFL star player. He's not some jacked-up giant who intimidates with physical presence. He's a normal-sized guy who never played professional football. But since he was a kid growing up in the New York area, he had one dream: to become a general manager. While other kids dreamed of scoring touchdowns, Howie dreamed of building championship teams. He went to the University of Florida, and there's a legendary story about him. While everyone else was enjoying college life, Howie was in his dorm room studying sports management strategies. That was the passion that consumed him. Get ready because this story is absolutely chilling. Howie Roseman didn't parachute to the top. He built his empire brick by brick year after year with insane dedication. 2000. He starts as an intern in the Eagles front office. That's right, an intern. The guy on the absolute lowest rung of a ladder. 2001, 2002. He dives deep into salary cap studies. While others saw confusing numbers, Howie saw opportunities. 2003 to 2005. Director of Football Administration. Climbing fast. 2006, 2007. Vice President of Football Administration. The guy doesn't stop. 2008, 2009. Vice President of Player Personnel. Almost there. 2010 to 2014. Boom. He becomes one of the youngest general managers in NFL history at 34 years old. It seemed like nothing could stop this machine. But then, something happened that would change everything. Between 2015 and 2018, something devastating occurred. Chip Kelly arrived at the Eagles as the revolutionary of modern football. And look, a lot of what we see today in NFL and college offenses came from his ideas. But in Philly, he was an absolute disaster. Kelly had an ego the size of Lincoln Financial Field. After just one season with a winning record, but an embarrassing home playoff loss to the Saints, he started acting like he owned the city. And here's the painful part. Chip looked at Howie, a guy who dedicated his entire life to football, and dismissed him as just a numbers nerd. He banished Howie from the GM position and sent him to the other side of the Eagles complex. Imagine the humiliation. But you know what Howie did? He didn't quit. He didn't run off to another team. He stayed as Executive VP of Operations, worked in the shadows, waited for his moment. And when Chip Kelly failed miserably and got fired, Jeffrey Lurie, the owner who always believed in Howie, brought him back. Since 2019, Executive VP and General Manager of the Eagles again. But this time, Howie came back hungry for revenge. And what did he do? He transformed the Eagles into the most dominant machine in the NFL. Now get ready for the numbers that are going to explode your mind. 2 Super Bowl rings. 2-time Executive of the Year. Hall of Fame? It's a question of when, not if. But here's what separates Howie from any other GM in recent history. He won twice with completely different combinations. 2017 Super Bowl 52. Doug Peterson as head coach plus Nick Foles at quarterback. 2024 Super Bowl 59. Nick Sirianni as head coach plus Jalen Hurts at quarterback. Do you understand the magnitude of this? Teams normally need continuity to win Super Bowls. Stable coach plus quarterback for years. Howie? He rebuilt an empire twice with completely different pieces. And against who did he win these titles? Super Bowl 52 against Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, the greatest dynasty in NFL history. Super Bowl 59 against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, the current kings of the league. Howie didn't win against mediocre teams. He destroyed the greatest living legends of the sport. Here's my most controversial take. With his mastery of the salary cap, his ability to extract maximum value from every negotiation, his historic drafts, his surgical free agency signings, Howie Roseman might not just be the best GM in the NFL. He might be the best executive in all of American sports. NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, all of them. Think about this. How many GMs do you know who became memes for being too good? The guy has AI photos with a ski mask. The nickname Ski Mask Howie because he steals from other teams and trades. When your success becomes pop culture, you've transcended the sport. What makes Howie truly special isn't luck. It's pure strategy. He dominates the salary cap like nobody else. Finds loopholes, creates space out of nowhere. Restructures contracts creatively. While other GMs are stuck, Howie's making moves that seem impossible. He identifies talents that others ignore. He's not afraid to make aggressive trades. He builds through both the draft and free agency. He's a complete master. So tell me, do you agree that Howie Roseman is the most brilliant GM in the NFL? Comment down below. I want to know your opinion. And if you're enjoying this content, share it with that Eagles fanatic friend of yours. Howie's story proves one thing. It doesn't matter how many times you fall. It matters how many times you get back up. He was humiliated, banished, discarded, and he came back to build a dynasty. This is more than football. This is a lesson in resilience, dedication, and pure genius. Stay tuned, because there's so much more incredible stuff coming your way. Don't go anywhere.